Tonight, Long Beach State take to the hardwood to face Concordia under the lights of the Pyramid. It's the Beach hosting the Golden Eagles live from Long Beach, and all the action starts right now. You are listening to national champion Long Beach State men's volleyball on 22 West Radio, streaming live on YouTube and online at 88.1 KKJZ HD3 Long Beach. Good evening and welcome inside the LBS Financial Credit Union Pyramid. It is a pleasure to have you with us on a Saturday night. I'm JayDe Beaudry coming to you courtside for an NCAA men's volleyball non-conference face-off between number 2 Long Beach State and Concordia and the second half of a doubleheader tonight on 22 West Radio. The Beach picked up their 10th win of the young season last night in Irvine over Concordia, but it wasn't smooth sailing from start to finish. The Golden Eagles took set 1 on their home floor before the defending national champions settled in and took the match in 4 sets. Service pressure was the story last night as the Beach just 15 aces over the final 3 sets. 8 of them coming from Wojciech, the second most aces in a single game in Long Beach State men's volleyball history. Concordia are now 3-10 and have lost 8 straight games. However, after keeping last night's contest with Long Beach State close and competitive, the Golden Eagles will be looking to make more notes tonight on the road. Tonight marks the 9th all-time meeting between these two programs, and all signs point to another battle worth watching. That single set that Concordia took off of Long Beach State last night, the first set victory for Concordia since 2020, when both these teams went 5 sets at the ASICS Invitational. All other matches between these two teams have resulted in a sweep for the Beach, and first-year head coach Nick McRae will be hoping for more of the same of that history tonight. However, Long Beach will have to do it without their 2 starting outside hitters tonight. A change in the lineup, and one worth noting. Jake Pizzanti continues to set the ball alongside the middle blocker pairing of Jackson Christ and Ben Braun, but on the outsides, Connor Bloom, after tallying 9 kills and playing in all 4 sets last night, starts at outside hitter 1, and Miles Jordan, the freshman from Houston, Texas, makes the start at outside as well. Alex Kondev out with sickness. Skylar Varga is dressed, the National Player of the Year contender. He participated in warm-ups, but Nick McRae says tonight is a chance to flex the depth of this team as Varga will need to rest up ahead of big matches next week against Penn State and further on as conference play looms at the end of the month. Wojciech gets his 3rd straight start at opposite after that record-breaking performance last night alongside Kellen Larson, the lone libero for Long Beach State. As for Concordia, they make just 1 change to the starting lineup. Freshman Matt Fisher will continue to set the ball for the Golden Eagles alongside the middle blocker pairing of Paul Schulteis and Nathan Habermas. On the outside is Christian Gallopo starting alongside Kai Vogel, who replaces Tyus Corneliuson after Corneliuson had a rough night last night, hitting -143, tallying just 3 kills. Opposite is Logan Whitaker once again alongside Joseph Nunez. The L1 Concordia dressed 2 liberos tonight in Nunez and Troy Fleming, but Nunez will certainly see the lion's share of the minutes. Healthy crowd on hand here at the LBS Financial Credit Union Pyramid. Long Beach in white, Concordia in green, and it's Miles Jordan, the freshman, getting us underway from Long Beach. Passed out of the back row by Gallopo, up to Fisher, back to Gallopo. He's blocked and roofed. Tried to roll it delicately right into a double block, and Jackson Christ is fired up right out of the gate. Awaiting the swing on the pin was the Big West leader in blocks per set. And he ran right back to the Long Beach huddle, screaming. It's Long Beach, up 1-0. Jordan, hard to the back row, passed out by Nunez. Fisher ranges over. Schulteis in the middle, off the hands of Jackson Christ and down for the kill. Christ could have had 2, and he knows it. Had Schulteis dead to rights in the middle. But Schulteis, the 6'2" sophomore winger blocker, with a little bit of intelligence going off the bottom of the block. 1-1 in set 1. Matt Fisher tosses low and serves across. Jordan pass to Pizzanti at the logo left side. Connor Bloom touches it down. The Concordia block not over in time to meet Connor Bloom, who is making his 2nd consecutive start. It had been quite some time since Connor Bloom had last seen the starting lineup before last night's matchup in Concordia. Did tally 9 kills, struggled in serve receive, but by and large, a solid performance from the senior. 2 serving 1. Christ booms one across. Nunez pass up to the net. Pizzanti has to get up and touch it down. The ball was careening with a lot of backspin, and it landed right on top of the tape. Pizzanti powers it down with 2 hands, and the Beach open up a 3-1 lead. Christ will continue to serve. The Long Beach native. Booms one across. Nunez pass from the back row. Fisher from the 10-foot line. Pushes left side. Whitaker off the double block dug out by Jordan. Bloom's 2nd touch. Bumps it to the middle of the floor. Pizzanti over with 2 hands. Tools the block. And it's out of bounds. Jake Pizzanti picks up the out-of-system kill. And the Beach can continue to build on an early lead here in set 1. Pizzanti Just 1 kill last night. Has already tallied 1 here in set 1. As Christ booms one across to the back row, and it's an ace. Kai Vogel couldn't get underneath it, and the ball goes off his hands into the staircase between the stands. Long Beach lead 5-1, and there's the first ace for Long Beach State after they had 15 last night. Chris continues his run. Floats this one across, passed out by Schulteis. Fisher back to Schulteis in the middle, blocked by Ben Braun, kept alive, and it's hooked back over the net. Bloom first touch, Pizzanti, D-set, Gayak, straight down. Concordia do well to keep it alive, but the Beach are privy to it. And Jake Pizzanti feeding Wojciech Gayak early. Gayak had 12 kills last night alongside those 8 aces. And Long Beach already off to a better start here after they lost set 1 to the Golden Eagles last night. 6 serving 1, Christ booms one into the net last night. Jackson Christ 2 aces. He also hit 571. Gets Long Beach going with a 5-0 run and a lot of energy as he heads back to the bench to make way for Kellen Larson. Christian Galapo can serve now. The Luxembourg native. 7 kills last night for the Golden Eagles. Booms one across the tape, passed out by Larson. Pizzanti takes a look around and gets it to Ben Braun. Quick in the middle. Ben Braun standing 6'11" and uses all of his height to get above the tape and power it straight down. Long Beach establishing some dominance here early on in set 1. 7 serving 2 with the setter, Jake Pizzanti, behind the line. Pizzanti tosses, booms it across to the back row, passed out by Galapo. Fisher, left side, swinging his Vogel, and he gets the cross-court kill. Vogel threads the eye of the needle right through the double block, and Concordia pick up their 3rd point here in set 1. It'll send Paul Schulteis behind the line, whose serving motion is an interesting one. He booms the ball twice, holds it out in front of him, balances with his right leg outstretched in front of his left, and then begins his run-up. Here goes Schulteis to serve. To the back row, down for an ace. Kellen Larson let it go, and it tickles the paint. First ace of the night for Concordia. In last night's matchup, they tallied 2 aces in set 1 and only 2 for the rest of the match. Schulteis was outstanding in that first set, tallying 3 kills and applying pressure at the net. He serves again, this time passed out of the back row by Larson. Pizzanti from the 10-foot line. Gayak swinging left side off the triple block. Galapo gets a touch. It's careening back towards the sand pit, and Schulteis can't get there. It'll be a kill for Wojciech Gayak as Concordia get active in the back row and cannot extend the rally. Long Beach have doubled up on the Golden Eagles now. It's 8 serving 4. Connor Bloom, 6'5" pin hitter, and his patented Bloom boom. See him serve. Across the tape, Galopo pass it to Fisher. Back to Galopo, coming from the back row, and it's a kill for the Golden Eagles. Galopo, the leader of this Irvine team in kills this season. He's had a few outstanding performances. Last night was the man Matt Fisher turned to first as he hit 500. Logan Whitaker to serve beyond the back line as the Concordia bench makes some noise, and Long Beach bench carries on the tune after the service error. Ben Braun to serve, back on the floor, floats one across. Galopo pass from 10-foot line. Fisher, D-set, Whitaker swinging cross court, kept alive once but not twice. Jake Pizzanti targeted on the cross court swing in the back row. Diving in was Connor Bloom to keep it alive, and he could not. So Concordia inch closer now. 6 serving 9. Kai Vogel behind the service line. Vogel entered in 3 sets last night. Replaced Tyrus Corneliuson in set 4. First came on as a serving sub. And here he serves to the back row. Jordan to Pizzanti. Jackson Chris disrupted by the block, kept alive by Concordia. Joust at the net. Jordan gets it back on the Long Beach side. Chris first touch. Pizzanti back to Jordan left side. Off the double block. And Kellen Larson can't get there to cover. Miles Jordan blocked, and it's out of bounds off the Beach last. It'll be Nathan Habermas credited for the block. 6'8" redshirt sophomore middle blocker, native of Bloomington, Illinois, rotating over to deny Miles Jordan, making his first career start for Long Beach State. Vogel serves again, 7 serving 9, targeting the line, and he missed it. Bounces once and into the Long Beach bench. And now Wojciech Gajek can ready himself to serve. Only 6 aces for Gajek before last night's 8-ace performance. Only Moni Nikolov and Sotura Shiopanis have had 8 aces in a single game in Long Beach State men's volleyball history. Scott Wisniewski back in 2001 had 9. He holds the record. And Gajek's first toss is up, across, and passed out by Nunez. Fisher underneath from the 10-foot line. Sets to Kai Vogel from the back row. Blocked and down. Jackson Christ flexing his muscles, looking to bring the fire and the fight here to this matchup early. Christ already with 2 blocks here in this first set. Kai Vogel some high fives from his teammates as he readies in the back row now for serve receive. Gajek tosses high, booms it into the net. One thing to note with both teams serving tonight, the net at Concordia last night had a looser wire than the one here at the Pyramid. So there were some friendly rolls off the wire in Concordia at CU Arena last night that will not happen here in the Pyramid, as the net is much more taut. 8 serving 11. Habermas booms it across. Larson to Pizzanti. Jackson Christ comes from the middle, wants a touch off the block, and the officials are going to rule he did not get one. As of now, it's point Concordia. Nick McRae coming over for a conference, and he will apply his first challenge of the night. You get 3 challenges in volleyball, and if you are successful, you keep it. If you are unsuccessful, you lose it. It'll be Nick McRae hoping that he can hold on to his challenges for as long as possible tonight. Did not issue a single challenge last night in Irvine, as there were times in set 1 where Long Beach wanted a challenge in the set that they lost, and there were times throughout the match where Nick McRae encouraged the team to keep playing and continue pushing through what ended up being a 4-set victory. Long Beach coming into this week's back-to-back series against Concordia Irvine after a loss at UCLA last Friday, a 4-set loss against the #1 team in the country, not too shabby. And it's UCLA who also picked up a big win last night in the Bren Event Center against UC Irvine. Long Beach enters tonight as the #2 team in the country. UCLA, the undisputed #1 team in the country, having picked up all 25 first-place votes in the latest AVCA national poll. Having dropped a set last night, Long Beach State's resume may look a little bit worse than a team like Hawaii, who swept the weekend series against BYU last night on the Big Island. Long Beach will want to make a statement tonight against Concordia to prove that they are still deserving of that #2 spot, with teams like Irvine and Hawaii hot on their heels. As for Concordia, they are 0-3 in MPSF play. They are on an 8-game losing streak, and last night's set victory against Long Beach put an end to a 4-game skid where they failed to win a single set, although those 4 games for Concordia came against nationally ranked opponents, #10 UC San Diego and #18 Stanford, both playing 2-game series against the Golden Eagles. This a series against the #2 ranked team in the country. Long Beach State a chance to challenge a Concordia team that hopes to make a run at the end of their schedule and make it back to the MPSF tournament, where they picked up their first playoff win since 2018 last season. They have a lot of turnover on this roster, the Golden Eagles, as there are 11 transfers and 8 returners on the roster. Only 1 freshman, and that is the man setting the ball tonight, Matt Fisher. Review ongoing. It looks like the call is in here. Long Beach challenging a touch off the swing from Jackson Christ. 11-9 as it is, and there was a touch. So Long Beach will move to 12. Concordia will lose a point and be back down to 8, a 4-point advantage here in set 1 for Long Beach State. Concordia's 3 wins this season have all come at home. They have not won a road game so far in 2026, sitting at 3-10 overall. Jordan serves to the back row, passed out well. Galopo. Fisher, left side set, back to Galopo. He touches it across the block. Pizzanti over to the left side. Connor Bloom down for the kill. Connor Bloom got a touch off the block from the setter, Matt Fisher, and got it in bounds. So a 2 for there for Connor Bloom. Beach lead 13-8. Miles Jordan back to serve. Jordan rolls one into the tape. And Miles Jordan being shown a lot of confidence by Nick McRae tonight in the absence of Skylar Varga and Alex Kondev. The 6'5" freshman outside native of Houston, Texas. Only 6 sets on the season played for Jordan before tonight. Still looking for his first kill. 9 serving 13, floated across, pass up to Pizzanti, D-set, Wojciech Gajek straight down. The Concordia block once again not able to meet Big Woj at the net. And Gayak is all smiles. After last night's 8-ace performance, he said that he is becoming more comfortable with this team and always revels in the opportunity to show his teammates what he is capable of. 14 serving 9, Jackson Christ whirls one across. Nunez pancake from the 10-foot line, kept alive. Galopo sets from the back line. Over to Whitaker, over the triple block and dug out by Jordan. Pazanti, cross-court set. Connor Bloom stunted his run, has to roll it across, dug out at the 10-foot line. Vogel bumps further. Whitaker swings from the back row, dug out by Gayak. Pazanti, D-set, back to Gayak, blocked to the back row and out of bounds. That time the Golden Eagles block was up and alive, but it careens well beyond the back line, and Long Beach are the first to 15 here in set 1. Into the media timeout. We'll take the break with the teams and be back on the other side here on 22 West Radio. Timeout breaks, and Long Beach are the first to 15 in set 1. Concordia have 9 on the board, but it has been all Long Beach here early on as they hit 692 and look to close out set number 1. Concordia hitting just 167. Last night, Long Beach State held below their normal hitting tally, hitting just 342 to Concordia's 267. Jackson Christ tosses high, passed across. It's Nunez to Fisher from beyond the end line, getting it to Galopo, kept alive off the block, and the Beach could not get a third touch. Excuse me, they could. And it was Wojciech Gayak touching it down. It looked like the ball came down on the Long Beach side and said it's Gayak with a nice dink over the net. And Long Beach can lead 16-9 and get Jackson Christ back behind the line already with an ace here in set 1. Christ tosses high, booms it across to the back row and out of bounds. 68 on the radar gun from Jackson Christ. As he heads back to the bench, Kellen Larson stepping onto the floor to anchor the back line. That looks a little bit different than what Kellen Larson is used to. It's from right to left, Larson, Jordan, Gayak, and Bloom. Christian Galapo tosses, serves across, passed high by Bloom. Pazanti on his horse, sets it above his own head to Bloom, and Bloom touches it around the antenna. Officials have the flag up, and it's going to go against the Long Beach State. It was very clearly a swing into the antenna from Connor Bloom, but the officials let the rally play out, which Concordia also wins. McRae asking for some clarification on the sidelines. Pazanti set, just glided into the antenna. Connor Bloom trying to roll it over, and now it's 11 serving 16. Galopo tosses, booms. Jordan pass to Pazanti. To Ben Braun in the middle, off his fingertips as Ben Braun was fallen away. And it's above the double block, still and down. Even when Ben Braun doesn't catch it cleanly, he is still so dangerous in the air, hitting .586 on the season. Is the Rancho Mirage, California native and Ohio State transfer in his 3rd year with Long Beach State. That's a spot of moisture needs to be wept up. Jake Pazanti settles himself, ready to apply the next serve across the net. It's 17-11, Long Beach in set 1. Pazanti tosses, booms to the back row. Galapo has to get down to keep it alive. Nunez, second touch. Whitaker from beyond the end line rolls it across. Gayak, first touch. Pazanti from the logo, left side. Bloom touching it across and down, right on the 10-foot line as Connor Bloom elevates with his right hand and gets it into the campfire. Concordia nowhere to be found, and it's a timeout called by John Gritton. Concordia want to talk things over as Long Beach lead 18-11 here in set 1 on 22 West Radio. Timeout breaks, and it'll be 18 serving 11 here. Long Beach looking to close out set number 1 on a night where they are without their starting 2 outsides. Skylar Varga on the bench, resting, and Alex Kondev out with sickness. It has not been a problem so far for the Beach, who are hitting .706 to this point in set 1. Wojciech Gajek with 4 kills that is, Ben Braun with 3. Pizzanti booms it across, Fisher underneath to Schulteis in the middle, blocked by Braun, kept alive by Galappo. Fisher pushes further, Vogel around the double block, and it's Pizzanti diving in to keep it alive with one hand. Larson bumps to Connor Bloom, kept alive in the back row by Nunez, and it's Fisher setting to the back row, trying to go off high hands. Was Kai Vogel, and he got some. An extended rally there for the Beach that Concordia are able to come away from, having put a triple block in the face of Kai Vogel, and Vogel was always swinging to try to get a touch. 12 serving 18. Schulteis balances, tosses, and serves across. Bloom, pass up to Pizzanti, to Ben Braun in the middle, caught it off his fingertips, and it's well beyond the back line. You could hear the pop off of Ben Braun's fingertips as the set was a bit too high, and Concordia can look to close the gap here. 13 serving 18 here in set 1. Schulteis tosses, serves, and it's corkscrewing. Tried to go target area 1 on a cross-court serve, and it missed long. And it'll set up a situation where Connor Bloom can close out this first set, only needing 6 more points for a set victory. A man Nick McRae has named as a floor captain, and a man Nick McRae has called a closer this season. Bloom booms it across to the back row, passed out. Fisher quick to the middle. Habermas dug out by Larson. Bloom setting from the back row. Jordan around a triple block and out of bounds. Miles Jordan rises highest, gets it above the triple block, but cannot keep it within the white lines. Miles Jordan still searching for his first kill tonight. It'll be his second attacking error on 2 swings. Jordan getting the start tonight and being given plenty of trust by Nick McRae to step in a game like this against Concordia, who are not an opponent to underestimate for the Beach, as they learned last night in set 1, and as they learn right now with Christian Galappo dialing up an ace. Straight to the middle back of the Long Beach back line, and it's Nick McRae who wants a timeout and a chance to talk things over with his back line. Kellen Larson once again let it go. It was Concordia who dialed up 2 aces last night in set 1, and already tonight that is their second ace here in the first set. Long Beach lead 19-15 into the break, and we'll step away briefly on 22 West Radio. Timeout breaks, and it's an ace that sends Long Beach into the timeout. Concordia looking to close the gap here late in set 1, as Long Beach so far have been able to side out the Golden Eagles at 50% here through this first set. It'll be another serve coming for Concordia. The back row looking a little bit different now for the Beach, as Connor Bloom, Kellen Larson, and Miles Jordan are the 3 in the back. Wojciech Gajek moves up to the front row for serve receive. It's tossed high, boomed across, passed by Jordan. Pizzanti, D-set, Gajek straight down for the kill. Wojciech Gajek got all of that one. And Long Beach are able to get the Golden Eagles off the service line once again in set 1. And a chance to bring in their own service specialist, Ryan Peluso. To the bench goes Ben Braun. Peluso appeared last night in 2 sets. Did not tally an ace. Was fought off the service line in set 1. And can now serve here. The Beach needing 5 more points. Hard to the back row. Fisher, D-set, Whitaker down the line off the hands of Ryan Peluso. And Peluso will head right back to the bench being fought off the service line in back-to-back nights in set 1. Not the last we'll see of the Floridian, though. He has been a consistent presence behind the service line in late-game situations for Nick McRae this season. Kai Vogel will now serve for the Golden Eagles. Holds the ball out in front of him with his left hand. Now brings it back to his knees, tosses high, booms it across. Larson, pass up to Pizzanti, left side. Miles Jordan swims in midair. Fakes out the Concordia block, and that's a move that we're used to seeing from a man like Skyler Varga. Up with the right hand first, he drops it to his hip, instead touches it over with his left around the double block, and picks up his first kill tonight on 3 swings. Wojciech Gajek back to serve for the Beach, 21 serving 16 in set 1. Gajek booms it across to the back row, overpass. Jordan, first touch. Pizzanti back to Jordan, left side, blocked it and roofed. Aiden Case straight back into the hardwood. Case stepping on for that last point, replacing Matt Fisher as Concordia dressed 3 setters tonight. Case, the Grand Canyon transfer, entered late in 3 sets last night and picks up a block on his first point here in set 1. 17 now, serving 21. Boomed hard to the back row. Pizzanti to Jackson Christ, off the touch at the net and out of bounds. Also at the third position tonight for Concordia is Connor Orrock. He got the last touch on that last point in the back row, subbing in briefly for serve receive. He now heads back to the bench, so Concordia briefly playing with a 6-2 system, now back to a 6-1 with Case leading the offense, and Long Beach State will now make changes. Onto the floor comes Daniil Hrstanovic, replacing Wojciech Gajek, and a change at the setter's position as well for Long Beach. Island Doty stepping on, replacing Jake Pizzanti, with the Beach holding on to a 5-point lead here in set 1. Island Doty, the 6'5" senior setter, has backed up the Long Beach State starters for the last 3 seasons. Played in 6 games in 2025, and steps on now to run the offense for the first time since that game against Long Island back in late January. Jordan serves across. Nunez pass to Case. Left side set. Galopo blocked and roofed. Daniil Hrstanovic and Jackson Christ combine to return that ball straight back to sender. Jake Pizzanti runs onto the floor, embraces Daniil Hrstanovic, and the Beach are 2 points away from taking a set 1 victory. Daniil Hrstanovic on the bench for the last 3 games, as Wojciech Gajek has stepped into the starting lineup against UCLA, and in that last matchup last night in Concordia, it has been Hrstanovic leading the way in that opposite pairing this season, a pairing that Nick McRae has called the world's best 2-headed dragon. When both Hrstanovic and Gajek are available, they are a fearsome duo. Hrstanovic last year an AVCA All-American and a Big West honorable mention, ranked in the top 10 in the Big West in 4 different attacking categories: kills per set, points per set, hitting percentage, and blocks per set. However, he missed the national championship game with an injury that kept him out for a few months in the offseason. Hrstanovic had to take a break from volleyball and all athletic activities for about a month before the season kicked off. He's come into this year with a renewed focus and a desire to continue to chase that national championship goal that McRae has set out for this team this season. Hrstanovic looks like he will also close out this first set. The Toronto, Ontario native having an outstanding season to this point so far, making his return to the floor in a season where him and Wojciech are expected to trade places in the starting lineup throughout the season. Miles Jordan, the freshman, will serve here with the Beach needing 2 more points to close out set 1. 23 serving 17. Jordan tosses high to the back row, passed out by Galopo. Case underneath, D-set to Whitaker, tried to aim off high hands and did not get a touch. Was looking for something off the fingertips of Jackson Christ and Connor Bloom, but there was none there to find. And this Pyramid crowd can rise to their feet. It's the freshman making his first start for Long Beach State, looking to serve the Beach out of set 1. 24 serving 17. Miles Jordan tosses high, booms it to the back row, passed out by Vogel. Case underneath, over on 2, tipped across. Larson keeps it up. Doty, D-set, Hrstanovic down the line. Nunez passes it into the stands, and that's going to do it for set 1. The VIPs had to get out of the way on the Concordia side as Kai Vogel leapfrogged the chairs and could not get to the ball in time. The final score in set 1, 25-17. Long Beach closes on a 4-0 run after some efficient serving from Miles Jordan and some late changes that saw Island Doty and Daniil Hrstanovic step on to the floor. We'll see what lineup comes out for set number 2 on the other side of the break. here on 22 West Radio. Long Beach State up 1-0 on Concordia here in the LBS Financial Credit Union Pyramid last night. The Golden Eagles took set one on their home floor. Not the case tonight as Long Beach State hit 520 in the frame and hold the Golden Eagles to just 130 hitting. Very reminiscent of that fourth and final set last night when Long Beach State hit 450 to Concordia's 118. It was Nick McRae saying that a team simply cannot win a set when you hold them around that hitting percentage, around 100. It was Long Beach State who hit around 100 in set one. When Concordia were able to dictate the pace of play, apply service pressure, and block well to take set one against Long Beach State. Tonight, Long Beach looking for a 3-set sweep, looking to get in and out of this matchup unscathed, as Concordia are hungry for an upset in a season where they have certainly had their trials and tribulations competing this year in the MPSF, approaching a near decade of competition within the conference. Concordia, before moving to the MPSF and NAIA powerhouse, the 2013 NAIA national champions. And this year, under first-year head coach John Gritton, have high hopes. They have brought in transfers and plenty of talent into the roster. And it has been this team that John Gritton has said time and time again has all the talent and all the depth to be one of the deepest teams in the MPSF and compete on any given night with anybody. They showed it last night, and they'll look to show it again here in set number 2. Leading the way for the Golden Eagles in set 1 was Logan Whitaker. 3 kills on 8 swings. As for the Beach, Wojciech Gajek still perfect. 5 kills on 5 swings as the starters return to the floor for Long Beach State. Fisher serves across. Jordan pass from the back row. Pizzanti sets to the left side. Connor Bloom swinging cross court. And putting a little extra chili pepper water on the swing as it goes straight down and nobody's there for Concordia. For Bloom, that's his 4th kill on 7 swings, hitting .571. As Jackson Christ readies himself to serve, already an ace here in this matchup. Rolls it across. Nunez pass to Fisher to the middle. Schulteis rejected by Bren Braun, and it goes along the tape and back on the Golden Eagles side. Schulteis might have also caught a piece of the net, so it's another point for the Beach. They take the first 2 here in set 2. It'll be 2 serving 0 as Jackson Christ takes a deep breath, tosses high, and booms across to the back row, just missed. About 12 inches of space between where the ball landed and the back line for Jackson Christ. Last night, Long Beach as a team, 15 aces, only 16 service errors. Only the 4th service error of the night for Long Beach on that swing from Christ, as now Concordia catched Long Beach State out of rotation. As soon as the ball left the hands of Christian Galopo, the referee's whistle blew, and Long Beach have been covering Connor Bloom in serve receive here. So it looks like somebody had their toes where they weren't supposed to in that back line, and now everything's been sorted out by Jake Pizzanti. Across the tape, Pizzanti, D-set, Gajek straight down with a little pop and lock from Wojciech Gajek. Long Beach take the lead at 3-2. And Nick McRae still arguing that last out of rotation call about where everybody can stand. The rules changed this year in men's volleyball. You can move on the toss, not on the contact of the ball. And McRae a little irritated as he heads back to the bench. Pizzanti serving now for the Beach. Nunez across, Fisher, left side, Vogel through the double block, kept alive in the back row, over past Whitaker, first touch swing. It's Ben Braun on the Beach side who gets the swing down for the kill. It was Whitaker, disrupted by Connor Bloom at the net, to Ben Braun, who touched it down for the kill. The Beach simply bigger than Concordia in nearly every position tonight. And the Beach have opened up a 4-2 lead. Pizzanti across, passed out of the back row by Galapo, Fisher, D-set, Whitaker, above the double block, aiming for high hands, did not catch a touch. And Ben Braun up there causing havoc at the net. The 6'11" middle blocker alongside Connor Bloom. As the Beach have 3 blocks to this point, and it's Pizzanti on a run now for from the service line. 3 straight points for the Beach, served across. Fisher in the middle, Schulteis straight down. That was a play that was A1 in hitting lines this afternoon. Paul Schulteis can serve now for Concordia. As Schulteis so far in this one, only 2 kills on 5 swings. As Concordia trail 3-5 here in set 2. Schulteis tosses, serves low, and he tossed the ball behind his own head, tried to chase it back, and it was all awkward for Paul Schulteis. As he heads back to the bench, the libero tonight for Concordia, Joseph Nunez, 5'9" junior, returns off the bench. Concordia in all green, Nunez, the libero, in all white. Connor Bloom serves across, passed out by Vogel, high to the net. It's Fisher over to Habermas, kept alive by the Beach. Larson bumps it. Jordan, left side, off the triple block and out of bounds. That time the freshman gets a little crafty, uses the block to his advantage. And Miles Jordan has had a few solid performances this season, most notably against Central State early on in the campaign, where he tallied 6 kills and 556 hitting. A Fab 50 selection for the class of 2025 by Volleyball Magazine. Coming into the season, also an AVCA High School All-American. As it's served across by Bloom, Fisher sets left side, Vogel through the double block, dug out by Bloom in the back row. Pizzanti pushes to Jordan again. This time he pushes it through the double block and onto the Irvine side. Jordan using that non-dominant left hand to power it through the arms of Nathan Habermas and force Irvine into a timeout. Long Beach lead 8-3 here in set 2. We'll take the timeout with the teams here on 22 West Radio. Out of the timeout, Connor Bloom looks to continue his service run with Long Beach State up 8-3 here in set 2. The Beach took set 1 25-17. As the Bloom boom rings out. And Bloom tosses high, booms it to the back row, and out of bounds. So successful ice from John Gritton. Gets Logan Whitaker back behind the service line for Concordia. Whitaker was outstanding last night in Irvine, tallying a team high 13 kills on 25 swings. He was fearless on his home floor. Whitaker now serves, looking for the line, did not catch it. 62 on the serve from Logan Whitaker, and will send Ben Braun behind the service line. Braun rocking a single black leg sleeve on his right leg tonight as he serves across. Hand pass from the back row. Fisher to the middle. Habermas blocked, and it's back down on the Eagles side. Jackson Christ once again in the area. And anywhere around Jackson Christ above the tape is restricted airspace. Christ, a big smile on his face as Jake Pizzanti rocks his shoulders. Ben Braun serves again. Hand pass out of the back row. Fisher, D-set, over to Whitaker, and it's blasted off the little block and out of bounds. Whitaker rattling the cage of Jackson Christ. And Christ goes from all smiles to all business as he once again knows he's in the right spot and could have had a block. Concordia now hitting below 100 for the first time tonight. Kai Vogel to serve. Concordia down 5-10 here in set 2. Vogel hard and across. Larson pass from the back row. Pizzanti to the Bick. It's Connor Bloom coming from the back row. And it's right down in the middle back of the Concordia back row. Connor Bloom looks a lot more confident attacking tonight than he did at CU Arena. And it's all thanks to the support of his teammates and the Beach's ability to pass well out of serve receive as well tonight that has Connor Bloom up to 5 kills. Gayak serves hard and across. Nunez pass. Fisher to Habermas, and he ran a slide play there. Not too often you see that in men's collegiate volleyball. Habermas, again, running that play in hitting lines before this one, running around the back of his setter and then touching it down. The Beach block a little confused there as Habermas is able to pick up his first kill. Now he serves, punching it to the back row. Connor Bloom pass, Pizzanti, D-set, Gayak, double blocked, and down in the back row. Paul Schulteis alongside Christian Galapo pick up the block, and Wojciech Gayak is rejected for Concordia. Just their second block of the contest as it's now 7-11. Habermas punches it long, it dips inside. Larson pass, Pizzanti to Jackson Christ, and he did not get a touch at the net. And just as he did in set 1, Christ calls for a challenge. Nick McRae will come over and oblige. Jackson Christ thought he got a touch off a swing in the first set. Nick McRae challenged. The Beach were successful, so McRae still has all 3 of those challenges. Looking to use a second one here to keep Long Beach State in the lead as Irvine have gone on their first early run here in the Pyramid. It is now 8-11. We're going to introduce you to our officials tonight as well. Joseph Aguilar, Brian Brokenbrough, Henry Perna, and Eric Herrera, the 4-man crew tonight, all clad in blue. And this, the second game of a doubleheader here on 22 West Radio earlier this afternoon. Long Beach State women's basketball kept their season alive, defeating Cal State Bakersfield 72-62 in overtime. Call is in quickly, and there was indeed a touch. So Long Beach State still have all 3 challenges in their pocket as Nick McRae tonight is 2 for 2. Jackson Christ getting a touch at the net. And you hear the crowd saying Jackson knew it. He knew what he was doing, asking for a challenge, and the Beach now flip the script again. It's 12-7 after the point was reversed. Jordan serves across. Nunez pass from the back row. Fisher, left side. Galopo off the block. It was tipped. Connor Bloom kept alive in the front row, and it was a blocking violation there for the Beach. So Concordia were able to side out Long Beach State successfully and send Matt Fisher the lone freshman on this Irvine team behind the line, the Camarillo, California native, who has stepped in over these last few games as a starting setter. He rolls the serve across. Pizzanti, left side. Bloom right down the line. Connor Bloom picks up another kill, and both teams trade side outs here in the early goings of set 2. Matt Fisher running the offense tonight for Concordia. 10 assists already. As Jackson Christ now serves. Nunez out of the back row. Fisher underneath to the middle. Paul Schulteis. How neat was that? A shoot set from the back row over to Paul Schulteis. And it's right in between the beach blockers who parted like the Red Sea. Ben Braun went to one pin. Jake Pizzanti went to cover the middle. And Schulteis had a wide open lane to aim for. Christian Galapo serves it hard into the tape. And it's a service error for Concordia. Those service errors really did pile up for Concordia after they served well in set 1 last night. 21 service errors on the night for Concordia. Tonight, both teams have 6. Jake Pizzanti, the redshirt freshman, tosses, serves across, passed by Galapo in the back row. Fisher, medium system set to Logan Whitaker, right side, off the hands of Miles Jordan and into the front row of the sandpit. Jake Pizzanti chasing it back and scaring some fans half to death who had front row seats tonight and might be regretting that decision now. The ball was careening in their direction. 2 white shirts streaming towards them, and it looks like both fans have clutched their pearls and are now okay to continue watching the rest of this second set. Long Beach lead 14-10. Schulteis to serve into the tape again. Concordia will want to put the ball in play as much as possible tonight. That has been a stress under John Gritton this season as Schulteis heads back to the bench. Concordia cannot afford to serve themselves out of sets and serve themselves out of this match. As Connor Bloom readies himself to serve. 15 serving 10. Bloom to the back row and out of bounds. So Concordia stay within 4 here. As a change now at the libero position for Concordia. In for the first time tonight is Troy Fleming, the outside hitter and libero, dressed at outside last night, dressing at libero tonight, the Chula Vista, California native. Having played in 5 sets this year. Serve across to the back row, dug out by Jordan. Larson sets back to Jordan off the triple block. It's recycled. Galapo in the back row. Pass it to Fisher. Push to Vogel, and it's overpassed. Wojciech Gajek is ready and waiting above the tape. And he punches it right back down. The set just drifted over to the Long Beach side, and Wojciech Gajek said, "Oh, is this for me?" With a smile on his face, he came down, and Gajek now with 7 kills on 8 swings. He's been efficient from the outside. Brian Peluso back into serve for the beach to the back row. Awkward pass, Galopo. Vogel ranging over to the Concordia bench. Whitaker swinging across, and it's dug out by Peluso. Pizzanti from the back row sets to Wojciech Gajek. And Gajek flicks his wrist and holds the position as he heads back to the Long Beach huddle. Concordia, off a wild pass and serve receive, kept it alive. And the Beach were able to run their offense quickly and efficiently to get it to Wojciech Gajek. At libero, it's Troy Fleming back to the bench. Joseph Nunez back on the floor for Concordia. Peluso serves. Vogel pass. Fisher back to Vogel. Left side. He caught the corner pocket. Went right down the line. Jake Pizzanti let it go, and there's really nothing you can do about a swing that comes off the hands at 56 miles per hour from Kai Vogel. Vogel, the Rancho Cucamonga native, Upland High School graduate, spent 2 seasons at Merrimack alongside Logan Whitaker, who he is now teammates with, and his twin brother Isaiah, a 6'3" outside hitter who's also on the Concordia team but has not appeared for the Golden Eagles this season. Vogel now tosses high, 12 serving 17 to the back row, kept alive somehow and free-balled over by the Beach. Fisher now underneath, over to the left side. Galopo swinging, and he rattles the cage now off the block of Jackson Christ and out of bounds. Kai Vogel put the Beach well out of system. Connor Bloom ranged down. It went off his fists. Looks like off the chest of Wojciech Gajek. And still in the back row, Chris had to force it over. Concordia make the Beach pay. And there's a bit of service pressure from the Golden Eagles. 13 serving 17. Vogel hard and across. Bloom passes low out of the back row. Pizzanti bumps it to Jordan left side. Tough swing cross court. Dug out with one hand and back over the net. Gajek, hand pass. Pizzanti, Jackson Christ in the middle. Dug out in the back row again. Whitaker gets the bump right back. Has to free ball it over. Christ first touch. Pizzanti back to Jackson Christ. And the Beach put it away the second time around. Jake Pizzanti wheels away in celebration. Back-to-back plays where Kai Vogel served at Connor Bloom to put the Beach out of system, and the Beach play strong defense, recycle their offense, and get a kill. It is Wojciech Gajek who can now serve for the Beach. No aces tonight for Gajek after he had 8 last night. Anytime a performance puts you on the same line as Sotoris Shiopanis and Moni Nikolov, you know you're in good company. That's exactly what Wojciech Gajek did last night with those 8 aces. Moni Nikolov serving up 7 aces against Pepperdine last season at the Firestone Fieldhouse in a 5-set win for Long Beach State. Sotoris Shiopanis with 8 aces back in 2023 as the USA chants ring out from the Concordia bench, and it's Wojciech Gajek forcing it long. Heard that USA chant many times over last night as Long Beach had a collection of international talent on the floor. And Concordia will make a change in their service as well. Stepping onto the floor is Connor Orrock, the senior setter, in his second season with the Golden Eagles. Orrock tosses, serves across, passed by Larson up to the net. Its first touch swung on by Whitaker, back on the Concordia side, disrupted by the block. Orrock now tools the block from Jackson Crest, rolled it off high hands and out of bounds. And Connor Orrock immediately comes in to make a difference. Orrock stands 6'3", spent his first 2 seasons at St. Mary's of the Wood in Indiana in the NAIA. Played in their inaugural season and their second year before transferring to Concordia. He serves across again. Bloom pass. Pizzanti set. Jordan rises highest and unloads. There's the flash of talent from the freshman as Miles Jordan finally had a clean look at the floor and wasn't going to miss. Long Beach up 19-15, and those same changes we saw in set 1 now return for the Beach. Off go Pizzanti and Gajek, on come Hrstanovic and Doty. So Nick McRae really experimenting tonight, putting Island Doty in positions to close out sets alongside Daniil Hrstanovic. A season where there are certainly going to be more twists and turns in this Long Beach State lineup. Miles Jordan serves across. Fisher says Whitaker on a D set. And it's straight back down. Diving in the back row was Miles Jordan, but that came off of the arm at 57 miles an hour, and Jordan was well behind the ball. By the time he hit the floor, it was already bouncing into the sand pit. 16 serving 19 now. Matt Fisher with service responsibilities. Floats one across to the back row. Larson pass. Doty underneath. Pushes to Connor Bloom, who touches it over the double block and down. Connor Bloom with his fingertips, able to pick up his 7th kill. Long Beach are the first to the red zone. The first team to 20 here in set 2. Up by 4 on Concordia. Jackson Christ, a big inhale, a scrunch of his nose. The tongue is out, and he serves it into the net. Trademark serve there from Jackson Christ, who has dialed up the fastball every time behind the line this season, save for a few. And every time he serves, that tongue is out and waggling. That time, he scrunches up his nose a second time as he knows he could have had that one. And it's only a 3-point set now for Concordia, 17 serving 20. Served hard to the back row by Galampo. Doty, back to Connor Bloom, left side, through the double block and down. Connor Bloom sees a window of opportunity. And now Long Beach making another change here. And the Beach will play without a setter on the floor for the moment. Serving is Daniil Hrstanovic. Off goes Island Doty. Back on comes Wojciech Gajek. So 2 opposites, 2 outside hitters, a middle blocker, and a libero on the floor for Long Beach. Hrstanovic serves across, pass out the back row by Nunez. Fisher sets right side. Whitaker straight down off Jordan's chest and back on the Concordia side. Nunez from the back row, pass up to Fisher. Left side, Kai Vogel straight down. And once again, targeting the middle back of the Long Beach back row, looking for Miles Jordan. And now another change here for Long Beach State. Off goes Daniil Hrstanovic. On comes Jake Pizzanti. So now a setter back on the floor for the Beach. As in a matchup like this against the 3-10 Golden Eagles, Long Beach are certainly flexing their depth, bringing guys off the bench who usually would not be put in situations like this. 18 serving 21, Schulteis serves it into the net. And Long Beach are 3 points away from a set 2 victory. Connor Bloom back behind the line. As Concordia have passed much better tonight than they did last night. Only one ace for the Beach to this point. Bloom, hard and across. Vogel passes. It's Fisher ranging to the right side and out of bounds. Getting it to Whitaker, who's blocked and roofed. Triple trouble at the net for the Beach. Ben Braun anchoring the triple block, and it's right back down. Timeout, Concordia. And it was an errant pass in the back row that forced Matt Fisher to range out of bounds, set back inside, and that's always a recipe for disaster. The block with plenty of time to organize, and Long Beach State are 2 points away from taking set 2 and opening up the broom closet here in the LBS Financial Credit Union Pyramid. So far, here in set 2, Long Beach State hitting an insane 722 to Concordia's 318. Long Beach have been able to side out Concordia as well at 78% here in set 2, led by Connor Bloom, who has 8 kills on 11 swings through the match. Wojciech Gajek, 8 kills on 9 swings. It's been a well-distributed offense for Jake Pizzanti, as there are also 4 attackers with 4 kills. Pizzanti himself has put down 2. For Concordia, the question this season is who's setting the ball and where is that attacking firepower going to come from? For these last 2 matches, we have seen Matt Fisher man the offense and Aiden Case come off the bench. Fisher led the offense in sets 4 and 5 in the second of a 2-game series against the Masters on January 31st, taking over for Aiden Case, who started the season as the starting setter. And Matt Fisher, the lone freshman on this team, came in looking to prove himself. A graduate of Adolfo Camarillo High School, was an AAU Nationals All-American and named to the Volley Magazine Fab 50 list coming into this season. He'll be looking to boost Concordia's chances here in set 2, but he needs good passing out of the back row. Over the past few points, it has been Concordia struggling to pass well and get Fisher in positions to be successful. Connor Bloom looking to close out set number 2. 23 serving 18. Bloom, hard and across. Nunez, this one's up to Fisher at the logo. D-set, Whitaker straight down. And Whitaker gets pushed in the chest by Joseph Nunez, who's fired up as he heads back to the bench. Concordia will make changes ahead of this next point. Troy Fleming returns at libero, Nunez to the bench, and Matt Fisher goes off. Back on comes Aiden Case, who was able to close out sets 1, 2, and 3 last night at CU Arena. Whitaker booms one across. Jordan pass to Pizzanti at the logo. Ben Braun could not catch it cleanly, and it's back onto the Long Beach side. Ben Braun lifted his eyes from the ball to the back row and short-armed it into the net. He was well above it and just missed. It'll be a timeout called by Nick McRae. And seeing Aiden Case on the floor really is no surprise for Concordia Irvine in a situation like this. He spent his previous 3 seasons of collegiate volleyball at Grand Canyon University, the last under John Gritton, when Gritton was a grad assistant for the Antelopes. Case spent those years backing up Jackson Herr, only played a reserve role in those 3 years, only seeing action briefly during his junior season. And it was Grand Canyon whose program folded in the offseason, a historic program in men's volleyball, a program that reached the Final Four right here on this floor in the pyramid just a few years ago. And Grand Canyon's players, coaches left to scatter to the winds in the wake of the program folding, despite the pleas of alumni and the pleas of the volleyball world to keep such a strong program running. John Gritton, one of those pieces, scattered to the wind. As the grad assistant, he landed at Concordia Irvine. Ironically enough, it was in last year's MPSF playoffs that Grand Canyon eliminated Concordia in a sweep at the Firestone Fieldhouse, while John Gritton was the interim head coach for the Antelopes. Gritton has also built out a staff that includes some Concordia alumni. His grad assistant this year, Malachi Lipson, was Irvine's setter from 2020 to 2024, and another grad assistant, John Peredny, was an outside hitter for the Golden Eagles from 2014 to 2018. Another change here for Concordia as Logan Whitaker readies to serve. Off goes Kai Vogel. In comes Miles Henderson, the Orange Coast College transfer. So a rotated lineup on the floor now for Concordia as they trail by 3 here in set 2. It'll be 20 serving 23. Whitaker booms it across for an ace. 71 miles an hour and off the fists of Miles Jordan and into the sandpit. Suddenly, Concordia are back in this second set. And Miles Jordan all alone in the left back of the Long Beach State back line, being targeted by Whitaker. The right-handed server rolls one across, this time to the middle. Larson pass, Pizzanti, Ben Braun touches it across and down. Whitaker diving in to get the first touch, could not get there alongside Troy Fleming. And it's now set point in set 2 for Long Beach State. Joseph Nunez returns to the floor for Concordia, as does Kai Vogel, as it'll be Ben Braun, the middle blocker, ready to serve after a spot of moisture is wiped up on the Golden Eagles side of the floor. And Troy Fleming, after doing his duties as a custodian, heads back to the bench. Pyramid crowd on their feet. Braun to serve for the set. Harden across, hand pass Vogel. Case back to Vogel, left side, off the double block, and inside the white lines. Concordia stay alive off the kill from Kai Vogel. Intelligence there from Kai Vogel. And Concordia now trail 22-24. It'll be Vogel back to serve. Fresh off the kill. Deep breath from Vogel. The pyramid waits in angst. He tosses high, booms across. Jordan, errant pass into the stands. It's an ace for Kai Vogel. Concordia are within 1. Timeout, Long Beach State. And Miles Jordan grimaces as he looks towards the scoreboard and realizes this next point is crucial. Jordan getting the start tonight, his first in a Long Beach State uniform in the absence of Skylar Varga, who is dressed on the bench but resting tonight, and Alex Kondev, who is out with sickness and who did not travel with the team last night to CU Arena. Jordan targeted twice now in the late stages of set 2. First by Logan Whitaker and then by Kai Vogel, as Concordia have ripped off 2 aces off the hands of the freshman. The pyramid crowd here still refuses to sit down, as it is going to be a quick timeout from Nick McRae. Concordia and Long Beach State, this is their 9th meeting all time, and a matchup that has only gone as far back as 2017. In every matchup except for the one last night and one 6 years ago at the A6 Invitational has gone the way of Long Beach State in a sweep, including a matchup last year in the Gold Mine, where Long Beach were given some fits by Concordia in set 2, were able to fight their way through thanks to strong performances from Moni Nikolov, Daniil Hrustanovic, and Skylar Varga. Concordia timeout breaks here, and they're looking to cause some more chaos in the second set here tonight. It'll be Kai Vogel to serve, and the pyramid crowd is now fully on their feet. Big serve on the shoulders of Kai Vogel. As the Beach put 4 in the back row, left to right, Jordan, Bloom, Larson, Gajek. Vogel, high toss, booms it out in front and blasts it beyond the back line. His toss let him down as he had to chase it inside, and a service error sends us to set number 3. Long Beach State cracking open the broom closet here. They won set 1 25-17. They win set 2 25-23 and outlast a late run from the Golden Eagles. Back for set 3 action here on 22 West Radio. You are listening to Long Beach State men's volleyball, the defending national champions, on 22 West Radio, streaming live at 88.1 KKJZ HD3 Long Beach and online streaming on YouTube. I'm JayDe Beaudry, and we'll return in a few minutes for set 3 on 22 West Radio. Set 3 ready to get underway, and some celebrities in the building tonight. The Long Beach State women's volleyball team supporting Long Beach State from the stands, and that special celebrity is in the arms of Logan King right now. Coach Natalie Reagan bringing baby Luke to the game tonight. Coach Reagan, after leading Long Beach State women's volleyball to the first 20-win season since 2016, gave birth to baby Luke just over a month ago and has brought him to the Pyramid alongside some of her players who were outstanding this year, also in the stands, Sydney Hammaker, Pola Bunarovska, and Annabelle Kotsakov, as the women's volleyball team has been out in force throughout this season to support the men, as the men did in the fall to support the women. Long Beach State up 2-0 here on Concordia. Looking to get out of this one in 3, as we played just over an hour of volleyball, and Long Beach have taken 2 sets off the Golden Eagles. 25-17, 25-23, the scores in both sets. For Long Beach State, the starters return to the floor for the 3rd consecutive set, as do the starters for Concordia. Sands the setter's position. Aiden Case will start set number 3 for Concordia, replacing Matt Fisher. Miles Jordan will get us underway here in set number 3. 4 kills now for the freshman on 9 swings. He has settled in here as he serves across, pass out of the back row. Case ranges to the back row, has to get it to Vogel, left side into the triple block, blocked and roofed. Jackson Chris, Jake Pizzanti, Connor Bloom return that ball to sender, and it was an awkward set coming from the back row that ended low and right above the tape. Too easy for one of the best blocking teams in the nation. Long Beach, 1 serving nothing. Jordan across. Case once again ranging to the back row. Has to get it to Vogel again off the double block and off the hands of Connor Bloom this time into the stands. Vogel given some more time by the set, and he's able to send it off hands for Concordia's first point here in set 3. Logan Whitaker back to serve. 2 aces tonight for Whitaker. He has 24 on the season. He tosses high, booms it across, and Connor Bloom calls it out before it hits the ground. Whitaker targeting the line. The opposite has started both games here against Long Beach State, and Long Beach take a 2-1 lead. Long Beach on the night hitting .578. Only 1 ace, though, after 15 last night. Christ serves across. It's overpassed. Christ takes the first touch at the 10-point line. Pizzanti takes a look around, gets it to Ben Braun in the middle, off the head of Habermas, and it's kept alive. Case, back set this time, goes to Whitaker, off the block and out of bounds. Aiden Case pirouetting in midair. Got it over to Whitaker on the right side, and as Whitaker fell away, he powered it as hard as he could into the beach double block, and it hung in the air briefly before falling back to the hardwood. Concordia ties the set at 2. Kai Vogel to serve. Dialed up an ace late in set 2, but his service error ended the frame. To the back row this time, Jordan right over Kellen Larson. They both go to the floor as it's set up to Connor Bloom, kept alive on the dig from Fleming. And as Concordia recycle, it was Whitaker swinging off of a low set, and it goes square into the middle of the net for an attacking error. Miles Jordan has been targeted extensively in serve-receive tonight, as Concordia have tried to make the freshman as uncomfortable as possible in his first career start. Jake Pizzanti, 3 serving 2, blasted across. Vogel up to Case, dish to the left side. Galopo blocked and kept alive. Nunez, Case, D-set to Whitaker, and it's a back row attacking violation against Logan Whitaker. Either way, the Long Beach block had that one covered. Ben Braun rotating over, sent it straight back. And now it's 4 serving 2 in set 2. Pizzanti, the 6'3" Huntington Beach native, tips the tape as it goes across. Dug out by Nunez in the back row. Case pushes left side. Galopo with 2 hands. Yam time as he goes off the block and off the hands of Wojciech Gajek. Galopo picking up his 6th kill, as Nathan Habermas will serve for Concordia. 3 serving 4 in set 3. Habermas punches it across. Larson, pass, Pizzanti, cross-court set, Wojciech Gajek with an explosive swing. Gets it down for his 9th kill. And not only does Wojciech Gajek have 9 kills, he's got it on only 12. He's got it on only 10 swings, hitting 800. That's a career best to this point. As Connor Bloom claps the ball, settles himself. Blasted across. Nunez pass from the back row. Case underneath to Schulteis. Hand pass out the back row by Pizzanti. Grabbing at his fingers as it's bumped over to Miles Jordan for the kill. Kellen Larson had to take the out-of-system bump, as Jake Pizzanti might be regretting that decision to take the swing off his fingertips. Still clutching at his fist as he heads back to the huddle. You can hear a mouth of Wojciech Gajek. Yeah, that one hurt. And Wojciech Gajek saying, use your platform next time. We need your hands to run this offense. 6 serving 3. Bloom hard and across. Pass by Vogel. Case underneath. Pushes cross court. Gallopo tries to tool the block again this time. Gajek is privy to it. Pizzanti from his knees sets up to Miles Jordan on a cross court set. And those fingers are looking just fine, as Wojciech Gajek has touched double digits here in the pyramid. And the immediate adjustment has to impress Nick McRae. Christian Gallopo tried to tool the block again, was unsuccessful, and the Beach are able to recycle and come away with a kill. Now on a 3-0 run here in set 3. 7 serving 3, hard to the back row, passed out, Case at the logo. Tries to get it in the middle to Schulteis, and it's a solo style for Ben Braun. And Ben Braun didn't have to do much to send that one back to the hardwood. Schulteis looks like he lost the ball on his swing, and it was touched off Ben Braun's forearms and back down. 4 straight points now for Long Beach State. 8 serving 3. Bloom tips the tape as it goes across. Gallopo pass to Case. D-set Whitaker from the 10-foot line swinging. Dug out by Pizzanti. Overpass at the net. Gallopo wins the joust with Ben Braun. It's stepped back over by the Beach. And they're going to call a double touch on, looks like Ben Braun, as he tried to keep it alive at the net. The overpass went to the Golden Eagles side. And indeed it is Ben Braun called for the double touch. Cuts out a 4-0 run for the Beach. And it's a 4-point lead for the number 2 team in the country. 4 serving 8. Jordan, hand pass. D-set Pizzanti to Wojciech Gajek. Down for the kill. And Wojciech Gajek living above the tape tonight. Nine serving 4. Braun floats one across. Passed up to Case at the 10-foot line. Gets it over to Gallopo, recycles off the block. Case now pushes to the left side. Whitaker swinging hard around the double block and down. Five serving 9 now in set 3. Logan Whitaker, his swing, a quick twitch almost every single time. Gallopo serves hard to the back row and missed it long and overcast that time. As Concordia, I've seen the service errors now balloon to double digits. That's their 11th here through 3 sets. Wojciech Gajek, freshman from Poland, yet to register an ace tonight. Tosses high, booms it across to the back row, passed down awkwardly. It's Case from out of bounds, putting it back inside and tooling the block. It's Logan Whitaker up with one hand, and Jake Pizzanti calling for a carry. His protest to no avail, as Whitaker was able to make the most of an awkward set from aiding Case. And Jake Pizzanti is now asking the official, are you sure he didn't net either? Redshirt freshman just making sure the officials are paying attention. For Whitaker, that's his 10th kill. Schulteis serves, 6 serving 10 to the back row and long. Schulteis, a few service errors tonight, and they could prove costly here late in set 3 as we move forward. Long Beach looking to win the middle third of this set now from behind the service line. With Miles Jordan tossing high, booming one across. Nunez overpassed. Larson first touch from the 10-foot line. Pizzanti from the logo. Jackson Christ, look out for some high cheddar. He gets the touch off the block and it goes out of bounds. And Christ picking up another kill. 5 kills now on 7 swings. Timeout, Concordia. Long Beach continued to hit efficiently in this one. This is the performance we might have expected to see out of the number 2 team in the country last night. That simply did not come until later on in sets 3 and 4. Nick McRae, after last night's match, called it halftime, saying that it was a chance to regroup and refocus, knowing that there was going to need to be some problem solving in the lineup tonight, obviously with Alex Kondev sick and Skylar Varga needing some rest. It has been the rest of this Long Beach State team stepping up, led by Wojciech Gajek, 10 kills on 11 swings. Connor Bloom, 8 kills on 12 swings. And Miles Jordan, after a slow start, has 6 kills, 3 errors on 11 swings. Jordan hitting .273 along with 4 digs. Still working out the rust in serve receive, though, as into the timeout, Concordia will huddle up close. The LBS Financial Credit Union Pyramid with solid attendance once again here tonight, and it's going to be an exciting month of volleyball ahead for Long Beach State when they welcome Penn State here to the Pyramid next weekend, and then it'll be a two-match series against Jessup on March 12th and 13th, and then Hawaii close out the month the 20th and 21st as the Rainbow Warriors picked up a big win in their home gym at the Stan Sheriff Center last night against BYU. Looks like Hawaii and Long Beach State will be going neck and neck for the Big West crown this season. That'll be a rematch of last year's Big West Championship final, in which Hawaii took. But before we can get the exciting matches in conference play, Long Beach need to close out this third set here against Concordia. Served across, Nunez pass, set to the left side. Vogel looks down the line with a roll shot, and Miles Jordan can't get there in the back row. Successful side out for Concordia. Off the kill from Kai Vogel, stepping into the starting lineup tonight for Tyrus Corneliuson, hitting .364 as Logan Whitaker serves, and Concordia's bench will flex their pipes. Whitaker serves it into the middle of the net, and changes coming here for Long Beach State. With a 6-point lead in set 3, off goes Ben Braun. And on for the first time in this season, sans the North American Challenges, Baden Marquardt stepping on at middle blocker, the Grand Canyon transfer. Stands 6'5". Boomed across, kept alive. Case sets left side. Whitaker straight through the block and through the arms of Baden Marquardt for the kill. Marquardt last year played under John Gritton at Grand Canyon. Marquardt appeared in 18 matches and 47 sets. Was serviceable at middle blocker for the Antelopes, native of Anaheim Hills, California, returning to the Golden State to play for Long Beach this year. Part of that middle blocker pairing that is incredibly deep here for the number 2 team in the country. 8 serving 13, Vogel across. Jordan, awkward pass up to the net for Pizzanti, and he couldn't do much about it. Went right to the antenna, and Pizzanti nearly crashed into the scorer's table as he had to rise highest to try to poke it up with his knuckles. So Vogel can continue to serve here, 9 serving 13, as Wojciech Gajek needs to untie and then retie his shoe in the back row. That back row now for Long Beach State: Larson, Jordan, Gajek, Bloom, Marquardt, and Pizzanti hanging out around the 10-foot line in serve receive. Vogel ready to serve. Wojciech Gajek, shoes tied, ready to receive in the back row. Vogel to Connor Bloom. High pass, and it's Larson who has to get the second touch. Bumping it back to the middle of the court for Connor Bloom. Bumped over. First touch gets to Case. To the back row. Vogel blocked and roofed. Court is in session as Baden Marquardt sends it to the back row. And Wojciech Gajek shakes his shoulders. It was Baden Marquardt who last stepped onto the floor for Long Beach State during the North American Challenge when Long Beach welcomed Alberta and Calgary Universities and UC San Diego here to the Pyramid. Picking up a big block here. 14 serving 9. Case sets left side. Galopo recycles out the block. It's punched to the back row, and it's going to be 4 touches for Concordia. A double touch in the front row. Jake Pizzanti applying some service pressure. And then Concordia unable to handle. John Gritton in conversation with the floor judge, maybe asking about a challenge. As Long Beach State are now up by 6 here in set 3 with a rotated lineup on the floor. And the officials in conversation. The 4-man crew tonight all have earpieces and microphones to communicate with one another about calls, challenges, and anything on the floor. So you can see right now the line judge and floor judge both in conversation. And Indeed, it will be a challenge, the first of the night for Concordia. John Gritton challenging the ruling of a double touch on that extended rally. It's going to be close. They're looking at Aiden Case here off the replay to see if he contacted the ball twice. Concordia yet to use a challenge tonight, using their first here in set 3. Long Beach have used two challenges. They've been successful both times. Long Beach still has 3. As Long Beach State have been able to rotate their roster here with Miles Jordan stepping into the starting lineup, Braden Marquardt appearing here in set 4, and it's that outside hitter position for Long Beach State that has historically been a really strong one. The departure of Sotoris Chiapanis in the offseason, and Sebastiano Sani, who transferred to UC San Diego, left Long Beach with a bit of a gap in their depth behind Skylar Varga and Alex Kondev. The call is quick and in, and it favors Concordia. And they will replay this point here, so they're going to take a point off the board for Long Beach State. It's now 14-9 instead of 15-9 as we were into the challenge. As nobody won the point, and there was nothing to overturn in the actual scoring. It was within the rally, so we will replay the point here. Jake Pizzanti will serve again. Connor Bloom getting some instructions from Joseph Aguilar as he asks for some clarification from the chair judge. Logan Whitaker, the floor captain tonight for Concordia. And Nick McRae with a stone-cold look over at the officials. He was protesting during the challenge review that there was nothing to look at. And McRae now getting an explanation from Connor Bloom on the sidelines. Long Beach State, the defending national champions, taking down UCLA in a straight sweep at the Covelli Center last year, and they're hoping to make a return trip to the national championship this season to be held in May at Pauley Pavilion, where they may well face the Bruins for a 3rd consecutive season. Everybody's happy with the explanations now and ready to get back underway. Jake Pizzanti tosses high, 14 serving 9 in set 3. Hard to the back row, pass out awkwardly. Case on his horse, sets it back to the middle of the floor. Rolling it into the block is Gallopo, and it's off hands and out of bounds. Gallopo picking up the kill. Concordia only down by 4 as they'll make a change. Off goes the middle blocker, Nathan Habermas. On comes Cole Watker. This season only played in 1 set before this weekend. Watker played in a single set last night, so there's 2 sets on his line this season after playing 9 last year for the Golden Eagles. He serves this one long, and it floats out of bounds. Watker, the native of Long Beach, California, graduate of Los Alamitos High School, and the former Griffin, will head back to the bench as Joseph Nunez returns to the back row for serve receive for Concordia. 15 serving 10. The pace of this 3rd set has ground to a halt. Connor Bloom tosses, rolls one across, passed out of the back row. Case underneath, D-set to Whitaker, blocked and roofed. Miles Jordan and Braden Marquardt see the ball roll back on the side of the Golden Eagles. And a big-time block from 2 men who are making the most of their opportunities here in set 3. Jordan in his first start, Marquardt off the bench here in set 3. Jordan gets the pass off serve receive. They are actually ruling it an unsuccessful block. It came back on the Long Beach side. So Concordia off the serve. Look to recycle an extended rally here. Jordan rolls it off the triple block. It's kept alive. Bumped out of the back row by Fleming. Gallopo back sets it back across the net. Here comes Marquardt to Pizzanti. Back to Marquardt. All rise for Braden Marquardt. The 6'5" middle blocker touching the sky as he detonates from inside the 10-foot line. Unsuccessful in the previous point, getting a big-time block and roof, and then he makes the Golden Eagles pay, and there's no doubt about that one. Marquardt now serves hard and long. Marquardt, standing 6'5", also has an insane vertical. He'll now sub out for Kellen Larson in serve receive. Big high five from Nick McRae as Marquardt heads back to the bench. Gallopo, 12 serving 16. Passed out of the back row. Pizzanti to Jackson Christ. Passed back over the net. Connor Bloom to Pizzanti. One hand set to Jackson Christ, and he couldn't get it over the net. Long Beach State unable to find that quick to the middle set to Jackson Christ. For the second time tonight, a Long Beach middle blocker unable to get the ball back over the net with nothing but clear skies above the tape. 13 serving 16 now. Galopo into the tape for a service error. Only the 7th attacking error of the night for Long Beach State. As Jackson Christ is credited with the error, a rare one in a season where he is hitting above 500, hitting 444 tonight with 5 blocks. Wojciech Gajek back to serve. Having been kept relatively quiet here in set 3. 10 kills on 11 swings through the first 2. Hard to the back row, awkward pass, and it's having to be free-balled over by the libero Nunez. Larson, Pizzanti, Gajek off the double block onto the Concordia side and kept alive. Case second touch, pushes to Vogel, left side, skied off high hands, and Nick McRae had to step in front, using his skills as a former libero to bounce it right back onto the floor. Vogel aiming for high hands, and there were none to find for the Beach. Concordia, though, will challenge just to make sure. Still with all 3 challenges in the pocket of John Gritton. Gritton, previously to being a grad assistant at Grand Canyon, was the lead assistant under Brad Rostratter for 7 seasons at UC San Diego. So some familiarity in the Big West and with Long Beach State. Concordia, after tonight, will face Menlo in a back-to-back series at home. And they will also host the number 5 team in the country, USC. 2 weeks from now, MPSF play will resume for Concordia when they face BYU, the number 6 team in the country as it stands right now on March 20th and 21st. Those big games coming up at the end of the schedule, though, for Concordia are the ones that the Golden Eagles hope are able to get them into those MPSF playoffs against UC Merced, Jessup, and Vanguard, in which they will play a home-and-home series against Vanguard to close out the season. It was wins against Vanguard last season that really told the story of the season for Concordia when they went 10-19 and 3-19 in MPSF play. All 3 wins came against Vanguard in a stretch of the season where they played Vanguard 4 consecutive times. They also beat Vanguard in 4 sets in the MPSF tournament for their first win in the postseason since 2018. This year in the MPSF, only 8 teams make the tournament. And the challenge is successful from Concordia. So both teams now 2 for 2 on challenges, as there was a touch at the net. Vogel sees his protests pay off. Nick McRae gives a high five to Jackson Christ. And score now 17-14 as Long Beach lose a point and Concordia gained 1 off the successful challenge. Jake Pizzanti with some signs to his back row. Looking for something quick here off serve receive. Serving is Connor Orrock to the back row. Awkward pass straight up from Connor Bloom. Larson, first touch on the back row, sends it up to the net. It's a joust and it's poked back over by Whitaker, who forces Miles Jordan to break the plane beneath the net. It's suddenly a 2-point set here in the pyramid, and Nick McRae wants a timeout. Awkward pass from the back row from Kellen Larson, sent it up to the net. Whitaker won the joust, and Long Beach State committed a violation. We will step away briefly and be back for the conclusion of set 3 here on 22 West Radio. Long Beach State get their men back on the floor as the number 2 team in the country and the defending national champions have led from wire to wire here through 3 sets. Concordia looking to change that here late in set 3, forcing Long Beach into a timeout. It'll be 15 serving 17 as Long Beach are 8 points away from completing the sweep against the Golden Eagles. Connor Orrock to serve again, booms it across, passed out by Larson low. It's Pizzanti ranging out of bounds. The set to Wojciech Gajek, sees him swing down the line. He wants a touch, none was called, and Wojciech Gajek asking for a challenge as Jake Pezzanti in conversation with the chair judge. It looks like everyone here is confused just a little bit on whether or not a touch was called, and Nick McRae will have to use a challenge. It'll be the third challenge issued by Long Beach State so far. First two challenges issued on swings from Jackson Christ coming from the middle. This one, a swing from Wojciech Gajek on the outside. Gajek made a little bit of history last night with 8 aces against Concordia at CU Arena. Also had 12 kills on 21 swings, hitting just 286 tonight. He has been much more efficient. 10 kills on 13 swings as it stands, looking to pick up his 11th and cut out a 3-0 run for the Golden Eagles. Long Beach State as a team tonight hitting .508 on the season coming into this matchup, hitting just above .350 after last night's performance saw them hit below their season average. Maybe the third best hitting team in the Big West. They're held in opponents this season as well to just above 200 hitting, and that's been the case for the Golden Eagles tonight as well, as Concordia have hit .271 here, and this third set has been a long one. After the first 2 sets wrapped up in just under an hour, we are now at minute 35 of set number 3. Long Beach looking to close this one out and turn their attention to next week when the Nittany Lions will come here to the Pyramid. Tonight's match against Concordia kicks off a 6-game homestand for Long Beach State. And that conference schedule is coming up fast. Hawaii, CSUN, San Diego, Santa Barbara, and UC Irvine, all within the months of March and April. We'll have home-and-home series against Long Beach State as the Beach look to follow up that national championship last year with another one this season under Nick McRae in his first season at Long Beach State. McRae, born and raised in Long Beach, has been the assistant under Alan Knight for the last 13 seasons. It's his 14th season on the staff at Long Beach State, but Alan Knight has prepared McRae extensively for this role as head coach over the last 5 years especially. Knight, nearly 30 years on the Long Beach staff as an assistant and head coach combined. And after further review, Nick McRae can be happy with the call. It is overturned, and McRae is 3 for 3 on challenges tonight. This season with Long Beach State, his goal is to lead this team back to the national championship. And his demeanor and the way he operates this team is with the end in mind, as if every match leads to Long Beach playing for that national championship crown. Looking to close out set number 3 here against the Golden Eagles. Jordan serves across, pass up to Case, set to the back row. Galopo off the tape, and it's kept alive by Whitaker. Christ first touch. Pezzanti, D-set, Gaia coming down Broadway, dug out by Nunez. The second touch from Whitaker is into the stands. And the pass from Nunez went right to Whitaker, and Whitaker could not handle. Jordan gets Long Beach closer here to a 3-set sweep. Even in games like this, executing late in sets is key for this Long Beach team. Jordan serves hard and across. Vogel pass. Case from the back row sets over to Whitaker, who touches it delicately off the double block of Connor Bloom and Jackson Christ and out of bounds for a kill. Whitaker, 14 kills now, after tallying 13 last night. Really breaking onto the scene as Logan Whitaker. Now a new career high here for him in the Pyramid. Serve hard and across from Whitaker. High touch from Bloom. Set from the back row, Pezzanti. Bloom tried to cut it off a hard angle, got a touch off the block, and the Beach can push it now to the back row from Pezzanti. It's Case setting left side. Vogel around the double block, kept alive by Connor Bloom. Bumped from Jackson Christ to the back row. Miles Jordan, free ball across. Case sets to the middle. Coming down quick is Habermas, and the Beach could not handle. They sent it back over, and then it was punished by Case. So a chaotic rally there for the Beach. Concordia come away, and it's still only a 2-point set. Nick McRae asking how many timeouts he has left, and he won't use one here. As it's Logan Whitaker to serve, blasted to the back row. Larson keeps it alive. Pezzanti sets left side. Connor Bloom through a triple block, and it's kept alive in the back row. Vogel back set. Whitaker off high hands and out of bounds. 15 kills for Logan Whitaker, and Concordia are as close as they have been all night long. Timeout, Long Beach State, with Concordia within 1. It is 19-18, and Logan Whitaker has taken over here in set 3. He's had a few outstanding performances this season. Set his career high in an Irvine uniform in his debut with 13 kills against Rockhurst. Tied that mark last night and has bested it tonight in the Pyramid. 15 kills on 28 swings against UC San Diego. He had a 10-kill performance, and in the first night of the back-to-back series against Stanford, he had 7. This, by far, Logan Whitaker's best at the opposite position, getting the start in both matches and excelling. He has played with a fearlessness about him that is admirable. Spent 3 years at Merrimack before transferring to Concordia this year. Was a pin hitter and both outside hitter and opposite for the Warriors, averaging just under 3 kills per set in his career. Graduated of Suncoast High School, and it has to mean a lot to Logan Whitaker to be able to play in this building. His volleyball idol, the great TJ DeFalco, the Long Beach State outside hitter who led Long Beach State to national championships in the late 2010s. DeFalco currently playing professionally in Japan, and one of the legends of this Long Beach program, Nick McRae, when he was first stepping onto the staff here at Long Beach State. DeFalco, one of the first men he was able to coach alongside legends like Josh Tuaniga and Kyle Ensing. So Logan Whitaker playing in the home of his hero tonight, and he's got 15 kills. Concordia looking to steal a set here off the defending national champions, just as they did last night at CU Arena. Long Beach needs just 6 points to close out a sweep here, but it's going to go down to the wire. A 3-0 run now for Concordia. Whitaker behind the line, blasts one across, passed out by Jordan. Pizzanti from the 10-foot line to Connor Bloom, left side, blocked and down and out of bounds into my arms. It is Long Beach State able to get the block touch out of bounds, and they are the first to the red zone now. 20 serving 18. Jackson Christ behind the service line. An ace in set 1, he blasts it across, and there's it is! Another ace for Jackson Christ. And just when Long Beach State needed someone to step up in service, it's their freshman middle blocker. Ripping a fastball, seems right. Jackson Christ, 2 aces now tonight, and Long Beach back up to a 3-point lead. Timeout for Concordia, and we'll take it with the teams back on the other side of the break here on 22 West Radio. Timeout breaks here in set 3. Long Beach on the doorstep of a 3-set sweep. Jackson Christ pumping up the jam from behind the service line. Dialed up an ace to send the Golden Eagles into a timeout. Now looks to continue his service run. Christ, tongue out, tosses high, booms it across to the back row. This one's passed out well. Case, cross-court set left side. Vogel looking for high hands, and he got it. Kai Vogel has swung high into the block all night long, standing 6'3", and once again gets the high hands touch for his 8th kill. 19 serving 21. It'll be Vogel behind the line. Vogel with 8 kills tonight. More kills than he had in 2 matches against UC San Diego in his last few appearances. Blasts this serve beyond the back line and out of bounds. It's been quite the night for Kai Vogel. Inland Empire native and Merrimack transfer will now ready himself in the back row for serve receive. Returning at the libero position is Joseph Nunez, as Jake Pizzanti readies to serve. 22-19, they've each 3 points away. Pizzanti, hard across and down for an ace. A curveball from Jake Pizzanti. That paints the corner pocket. Timeout, Concordia. They will also challenge the ruling here. It was a close call, and the line judge on the Concordia side of the floor was on the opposite side of the back line where the ball landed. He was obstructed, could not make the call, so instead it was the downline judge who made the call, and the challenge is instantaneous. Concordia unsuccessful for the first time tonight on a challenge, and it is an ace for Jake Pizzanti. (23 serving 19 now in set 3. Pizzanti 2 points away as the Beach have led wire to wire in the pyramid. Boomed hard to the back row and into the sand pit. Off a bounce, it is a service error for Jake Pizzanti. Only the 11th of the night for the Beach. Habermas will serve with the middle blocker. 20 serving 23, passed out of the back row. Pizzanti, D-set. Connor Bloom off the hands of Habermas. And it's set point in set 4 for the Beach. Connor Bloom picking up his 10th kill, and the pyramid rises to its feet. Concordia want to wipe up a spot of moisture before set point can get underway here. And in the back row, Joseph Nunez, the libero, is satisfied. He will anchor the back line. From right to left, it is Nunez, Vogel, Whitaker, and Galapo. Plenty of green shirts for Connor Bloom to aim for. Paul Schulteis also lined up with his toes on the 10-foot line. Pyramid on their feet. Set point in set 3. It's match point, and there's the Bloom boom. Connor Bloom serves across. Passed out by Vogel. Case from the left side. Sets above his own head. Whitaker off the double block. Kept alive. Wojciech Gajek off his hands. It's Pizzanti pushing left side. Miles Jordan swings too low, and it's into the net. Concordia had 3 blockers up, and Jordan could not deal. And Concordia will make a service sub here. Off goes Aiden Case. On comes Miles Henderson, the Orange Coast College transfer. 10 aces on the season for Henderson. San Diego native, graduate of Del Norte High School. Still match point for Long Beach State. 21 serving 24. Hard and across. Bloom to Pizzanti to Braden Marcourt. And that's the match for Long Beach State. Braden Marcourt lays down the gavel for set point in set 3. And the sweep is complete for the Beach. Marcourt well above the net as he unloaded, and Marcourt will finish with a perfect hitting night. 2 kills on 2 swings after entering halfway through set 3. He's the one who applies the finishing touches on a commanding 3-set sweep for Long Beach State. On the night, Long Beach hit 530 to Concordia's 259. Wojciech Gajek picks up 12 kills on only 14 swings, hitting a career-best 786 to go along with 4 digs. No aces, though, for Wojciech Gajek tonight after 8 last night against Concordia. Connor Bloom chips in 10 kills. Miles Jordan, in his first career start for Long Beach State, has 6 kills on 14 swings. Jackson Christ and Ben Braun, 5 kills apiece in the middle. And Jake Pizzanti dishes out 32 assists on the night. Long Beach take the season series against Concordia in a sweep. After dropping set 1 last night, Long Beach have won now 6 straight sets, as the number 2 team in the country can celebrate at midcourt. That ranking might change by the end of the week, but this team still confident in their abilities to pull out results like tonight, where Concordia certainly gave it a fight, but were second best in the end. 25-17, 25-23, 25-21. That will do it for us here at the Pyramid in the second half of our doubleheader here on 22 West Radio. Long Beach State women's basketball gets the win in the first game of this doubleheader against Cal State Bakersfield, and Long Beach State men's volleyball sweeps aside Concordia. Thank you so much for listening. I've been JayDe Beaudry for Adela Domingo, doing social media around the Pyramid. It finishes Long Beach State 3, Concordia 0. This has been a presentation of Long Beach State men's volleyball on 22 West Radio, streaming live on YouTube and online at 88.1 KKJZ HD3 Long Beach. We will be back on the air for Dirtbags Baseball as they close out the weekend series against Washington State tomorrow at 1:05 p.m. live from Blair Field. We appreciate your time and your ears, and we hope to catch you on the airwaves next time here in Long Beach.